Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh, and I'll be joined by Tim Benz. So give us a call, 412-575-2600 is the number. You can also tweet us, but we're going to be talking about the Steelers and the big battles that are going on here for the first 3 weeks of camp. Now that they broke camp, they're over at the South Side starting tomorrow. And I think the biggest battle is that backup quarterback job right now between Mason Rudolph and Josh Dobbs. And I think Mason Rudolph has the edge right now, just by a little bit. But this is still a competition. We know Ben Roethlisberger is going to start the third preseason game. But, you know, after that, I think we'll tell who is the leader in the clubhouse right now, Tim.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Rich. That's what I wrote about for the Trib at Breakfast with the Benz, was exactly about that topic, the backup quarterbacks, and specifically Mason Rudolph, who I don't think got a lot of help to make himself look better after I thought a pretty good performance in Game 1. Wasn't much assistance from, for instance, Donte Moncrief, who fumbled on the first pass of an offensive possession, so the ball went right back over to the Chiefs' offense. Also had James Conner, who bobbled a pass that could have turned into a much bigger game, managed to get some out of it, but that was one that stayed off the books. And then there was a drop by Xavier Grimble as well. Not great pass protection. I thought Chuks Okorafor might have struggled at times at tackle. That didn't help out Rudolph. And I don't think the coach helped him out either by taking him out before he could run the 2-minute drill. He gave that to Josh Dobbs not once but twice, Richie, when you think about it, after the turnover from the Chiefs. So I really wanted to see Rudolph run that drill based on the fact that he got the start. Why not give him the whole first half and then give Dobbs as much as you want in the second half before you give it over to the Duck?
Yeah, the Duck. I thought that was the way it was going to unfold. Even last week, I thought Dobbs was going to get the first half and Rudolph would get the second half, but that wasn't the case. And, you know, there's a few battles going on here during camp right now, and that's probably, you would think, the biggest one.
Well, yeah, the
trying
offense,
to figure out who's the backup.
The offense didn't wake up in that second game against Kansas City in the first half last night until James Washington got in there. It's almost like Mason Rudolph's eyes lit up to see his old college buddy again and hit him deep in their own end of the field for one catch and then probably let one fly a little bit, but Washington was able to haul it in for a second first down on that drive, and that's what advanced the Steelers all the way down the field. Jalen Samuels capped it off with a run that I think anybody could have made, but Rudolph made some nice throws along the way to get them into scoring territory.
So James Washington is the second leading receiver right now in the preseason in the entire NFL. 8 receptions, 162 yards. Do you think this guy has any shot at beating out Donte Moncrief for that second?
Yeah, he should. I don't think that it matters, and that's another topic I wrote about, actually. I mean, I think there's some nomenclature there to go along with who's the other starting receiver.
But you can have all three out there at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, like, they will have some 2 wide receiver sets, but they are so often in 3 and 4 wide receiver formations. I don't think it matters that much who's designated as the number 2 wide receiver. The number 2 wide receiver basically should be the next best blocking wide receiver aside from Juju Smith-Schuster. If that's Tevin Jones, then have him be the starter and put him out there, because that's basically, they are going to run out of those sets quite a bit. And I think basically what it comes down to, I'm being a little sarcastic, but between Washington and Moncrief, it might be who's the better blocker in those kind of looks.
All right. I know a lot of people out there are going to criticize me for saying this, but Bud Dupree looked pretty impressive yesterday.
They shouldn't criticize him. He was good yesterday.
Yeah, he always looks good. Double-digit sacks this year.
He's just got to finish the play more often. And I thought that, you know, there was reason to believe he was going to use this year as a contract drive, and so far he's done that. And I agree with you. I think that Bud Dupree looked really good. And the Steelers, for the last 2 years, as Mike Tomlin talked about, have been 50-plus sacks 2 years in a row, 52 and 56, tied for the league lead last year with Kansas City. The issue is it just doesn't manifest a lot in turnovers. I think that the front 7 is as much got an onus on its shoulder to create turnovers as the secondary has. You know, we talk about the secondary working with the jugs machine and catching interceptions and things like that. That's great, but for a team that had 52 sacks last year, they only, like, T.J. Watt had 6 forced fumbles. He was the only guy with more than 2. Roosevelt Nix was in second place with 2. So, like, I think that you got to see some of the turnover binge that they're looking for come from the front seven.
Yeah, and that's one thing I wanted to get to, and I know we're going to talk about this on the #1 Concord Sports Showdown here coming up on KDKA tonight at 11:35. Well, actually, we're going to be 7 minutes late. It's going to be so actually around 11:40 we're going on tonight. But, you know, guys are saying that the turnovers are becoming contagious, that they think they've taken that next step. Can you tell that? I mean, I understand it's only the preseason. We didn't see much of it in the first game, but they had some good opportunities here in the second game. But, you know, do you think that it has helped the emphasis that they have placed this offseason on trying to cause turnovers?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see that definitely happen in the first quarter in the game against the Chiefs, because it was guys you're actually going to see. Like Artie Burns, even though he might be down in the depth chart this year, is going to get out there and play. And Sean Davis was the one that helped to recover that fumble after Terrell Edmonds punched it free. You know, it was Burns that made the hit, and then Terrell Edmonds punched it out, and then Sean Davis recovered the fumble. Like, that to me is the encouraging one. If you got guys like Taser Skipper, for as much as we love him making a late push to make the
Everyone's
roster,
sleeper.
Right, he's probably not going to be in there a ton. You would hope anyway. That probably means that there's injuries to T.J. Watt or Bud Dupree. Like, the guys that are supposed to be raking the ball away, and Tyler Matakevich is another example of what I'm talking about, the front seven creating a turnover.
Yeah.
But with all the importance that they've put on getting guys to play inside linebacker like Devin Bush, like Mark Barron, I don't think you want to see a ton of snaps for Matakevich, but that's the idea. For linebackers and the guys up front to get in the quarterback's face and force them to throw bad balls.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to seeing this third preseason game Sunday night at Tennessee. It's going to be the closest to a regular season game. You're going to probably see most of the starters, if not all of them, play maybe the first quarter, maybe into the second quarter, possibly the first
Thanks to
half.
Andy Reid for trying, by the way, by giving us Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah.
It looked terrible, but it was worth a shot.
All right, we're going to take a break. We can even talk about the battle in Buccos, what Neil Huntington said today, also how they got pounded in Williamsport by the Cubs. All that and more on the Nightly Sports Call. So give us a call, 412-575-2600.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.